Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and thank you so much for being here tonight. The word innovation is, there's nothing innovative about it anymore. Because we've done it to death. Every business forum has to talk innovation because that's the next leap to whatever we are doing. But the word disruption still has this zing about it. And as I was reading up, preparing for the session this evening, let me run you through a very, very basic concept of disruption. So, innovation is about doing the same thing better and bigger every time. Innovation can be evolutionary, which is going to the next step. Whatever it is you're doing, how can you make it more efficient? So it's predictable. When it's predictable, it's evolutionary. It's definitely better than before. Or it could be revolutionary, which is unexpected, bigger and better than before, but doesn't create a value proposition or doesn't create a new business line. So let's talk about disruption as it was defined by this professor in Harvard. Professor Clayton, actually I got a chance to meet him when his book was released. He essentially talks about this opportunity that completely shook the world. How does a new business person come in and steal the thunder from a giant of the same company? Right in the threshold. How does that happen? And the key word here was disruption. Disruptive innovation. What it essentially means is that when there's this giant of a company already established, a newcomer comes, strips it of all its bells and whistles, creates customer value, low cost, high quality, and steals the market. Simply said, that's what disruption is about. Today we have this very interesting lineup of panelists who by their own rights have created huge value for businesses. And let's start by hearing from them how disruption or innovation has helped you go from level A to B or leapfrog multiple levels. Let's start with you, Manoj.
Good evening, everybody. I come from a group called Shriram Group of India. It's a 4-decade-old group. We are primarily in financial services, life insurance, and mutual fund. Unlike other financial services group in India, this group from the inception had a very clear vision that we want to work with a common man. And that's what the entire group revolves around. Just to give a perspective for everybody, we are the largest truck finance company in India. We hold a market share of around 25%. Every fifth truck on the road is funded by Shriram Group. But interestingly, we fund only to the truck drivers. We do not fund to the lorry operator, we fund to truck drivers. Now, we come from this group, and in the last 4 decades, today we are the largest truck finance company, and then we are in related business with insurance, general insurance, life insurance. Now, to come to the topic of today, how innovation and or the disruption is taking this business to the next level. I think that's what the question for me is. A very simple thing when we talk about the common man in India. When on this 8th November, the demonetization was announced by our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi and said that India will go to the next digital world and credit card and all that. Or Paytm. Everybody was thinking that India will take a lot of time to reach to this. In fact, the same perception, we will also have our customers that the average truck driver, when you're talking about innovation, how he can use this technology to do the digital transaction. And you will surprise that we have close to around 2 crore customers, around 50 million customers, and almost 80% of the customers gave their payment through electronic mode. They don't come to branch, they digitally transfer their money to us. And the only instrument which is helping us is the mobile. And an average truck driver is a 5th class pass, but he knows how to use this. Now these are the ways which is actually helping our business to do meaningful. What does this mean to us? This means that a lot of behind we used to have field officers who used to go and do collection work and all that. That is now slowly getting replaced by this digital thing. Other example which I can give, which we have used in our insurance company. In India, you know the mobile population. The penetration of mobile is almost as I expect to say that the population of India is 120 crore and you have more than 120 crore mobile connections. So the penetration of mobile is almost touching 100%. We as an insurance company has launched a product to have insurance to the mobile subscribers. There used to be a company which used to operate in India called Telenor. Now they no longer are working in India, they have merged with Airtel. We have launched an insurance product. Just by sending 1 or 2 assets here and there, the cover was valid. And in a record time of around 6 months, we could cover 3 million customers on life insurance. Now these are all very fine examples, very simple thing on innovation and disruption. How much time it take to replace the whole, because still life insurance in India is 1-to-1 selling. The agent comes, explains the product and the customer buys, because insurance nobody buys, it always gets sold. But these are the things which is happening and happening at a very high speed. That's what on innovation and disruption in financial services and life insurance. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. The best known examples of the world are, of course, the Uber, which redefined the way taxi services operate worldwide. At the end of the day, there are crores, millions of cars that are run as Uber, but it's not even a company, it doesn't have any assets, it's a software. We'll talk about such examples as we go along. Let me come to you, Pritam. You are disruptive enough as a doctor, the way you're dressed, you don't look like a dentist. So tell us where you come from and what have you been doing in terms of what disruption has happened in your sector and how that has helped you.
I'm a dentist and essentially I'm from Mumbai, qualified in Mumbai. And as disruptive as we were, decided to move to London. So I've been practicing in London for 12 years now. My kind of experience boils down to a lot of studies on socioeconomic status and socioeconomic conditions of people, which are the primary determinants of kind of healthcare, which in simple language means that if you're from a low socioeconomic background, you're more prone to be ill, in simple words. And that's the main issue with today's healthcare. We are in a, not to scare everyone, but we're in a healthcare crisis kind of scenario where 85%, almost 85% of our diseases are heart diseases or diabetes, especially in India being the diabetes capital. And I mean, imagine 85% are preventable. The top 5% of the sick people are kind of sapping 50% of the cost of resources to a country. We only have about, I think, 30 or 32 countries out of 33 developed economies who actually have a universal healthcare system, like UK, Sweden. In fact, until Obamacare, even America didn't have any system. Almost, I think, 25% of people in America didn't have any healthcare. so they were with the state or actually didn't have any money to even go to a doctor in case of any accidents or emergency situations. And that's where we need to, that's the problem in healthcare today, and which is why we need disruption. We need the road monkey thinking for some young person or some young entrepreneur like Uber or someone like Apple to come up with something which will change this situation. And that's kind of the background of the healthcare situation today. We do have a lot of innovation, but it's mainly technological to make things better. But we do need more kind of, like I said, path-breaking, ground-breaking, thought process to completely revolutionize the way we come to thinking. We don't even know what healthcare needs are going to be 20, 30 years down the line. We probably training people or training dentists like me, not knowing if I even need to do a film in 20 years time. We might just take little blood from you, just make a tooth in the lab, stick it in. Don't even need to do a film. Why do I need to do a film? So we don't even know what sort of education we need. Forget dentistry for kids. We don't even know what sort of education we need. We're training people, we're training kids to work 20, 30 years down the line, not knowing if the job you're training them for is even going to exist in 20, 30 years.
Absolutely. I come from the field of education, and nobody has a shot in the dark as much as we do, because we really don't know what we're preparing the kids for. 50% of the employment data that we have today will no longer exist. Today the world is all about cloud computing and Facebooks of the world. Whatever did we do, our education system do to prepare people for Facebook or cloud computing? Some of us have taken cloud computing for granted. It was a disruptive idea. Some of you will remember that our laptops used to be in gigabytes and we were waiting for high, you wanted more and more storage. Nothing is passe by now. Everything's in the cloud. The thinner it is, the lighter it is, the better whether it's a handheld, mobile, or it's a laptop, it has to be thinner and lighter. It's not anymore about storage. So one disruptive idea in the entire terms and technology of the industry really changed. Let me come to now Baiju. You want to tell us about how disruption has helped you. A little brief about yourself, your entrepreneurial journey, and then disruption.
Thank you for inviting me today. As Akshay mentioned, I'm an entrepreneur, but I used to be an academic. I was a psychology lecturer, then I was a sales director in the city. But in the last 10 years, I've been running my own training and coaching business. And like you said about education, we are teaching kids today a way of educating based on jobs that exist 20 years ago, not what's going to exist in 20 years' time. So my whole disruption journey is about how you disrupt the mindset. People understand that people want more in the world now. People are looking on the internet, they can see all these lives they can have, but they're still frustrated because they don't know what to do, because their mindsets are still of the ones of 20, 30 years ago. So my EnSpirit Globe is all about how we develop people's entrepreneurial mindsets, but based on the original definition of what entrepreneurship is. Now people assume entrepreneurship is about business, and it's not. People don't know what the definition of the word means. It comes from a Sanskrit word. So the word entrepreneur comes from a Sanskrit word, Athena prana, directly translated means self-motivation.
Oh, wow.
So entrepreneurship is not about selling a business, selling or buying widgets for profit or loss. It's about a mindset. So when you understand that the entrepreneurial mindset creates disruption in marketing, whatever domain, then you start to say, okay, what if the access of entrepreneurial thinking was available to everybody? Not that they want to be entrepreneurs to start a business, but entrepreneurs want to employ and work with other people who think entrepreneurially. So what I'm creating is a platform that allows people to, the first call is your mindset at a point that's serving you? So our platform allows them to, we inspire them to believe they can be anything they want, change their thinking, we then educate them in the current technologies available, and then we connect them with the right people. And what we're looking to do is create a platform where, when you look on our platform and you're looking for reading different articles, is it will understand what you're looking for and suggest the next course of events without you thinking about it, using AI, technology, machine learning. When we think about disruption in the layman terms means sort of makes negative, like destroy. Disruption means you're just thinking about it in a very different way, but allowing yourself to fail. Innovation requires failure. You cannot innovate without failure. And there's too many. The mindset is one of safety first, security first, look after myself first, and then I'll try. Whereas you're not going to, you're a dentist, you ain't look like a dentist, my friend, right? You're going to get on stage and sing something like that, I think, right? So if you walked out in the street and said, right, I'm going to guess 10 professions, and they want to guess it. So your English disrupts the industry and the mindset of what it's about. And what I'm about is like action goes out and talks to youngsters. I say to youngsters, look, yes, you need to understand different areas of English and maths and physics, the principles, but for you to be able to create the life you want, the first thing you've got to do is change your mindset. And my approach in terms of is disrupting the market and getting people to understand. If you think entrepreneurially from that basis, you can create anything you want. And my platform aims to allow people to access that without the hindrance of history, the hindrance of parents' attitudes, and the hindrance of what society thinks that you should be doing. I don't know if that answers the question.
Of course it does. So let me now come to Neishaa, who wants to be Paris, right? Look at the disruption that's happened in the fashion industry. The reason that fashion clothing used to cost an arm and a leg is because it was sized, customized to you. Today, because of retail, and that's online retail, you can buy almost everything that's available in worldwide fashion. So, fashion itself is undergoing a sea change. But let's hear from you first. Don't answer the fashion question, come back to it if you want to. Let's hear about you, your journey, and if innovation has helped you move forward.
Yes, and I think I'd like to begin with saying, I don't know if you look at data, millennials are not even interested in buying clothes anymore. They prefer to buy technology. So I don't even know if the future of designing clothes is even going to be relevant. And that's why I like to say, and I was trained to be a designer, and I still continue to believe I'm a designer that designs to empower. Because I think as a designer, I hold this role of seeing and understanding society and people, and seeing what we can do to, how can we use design to change the world. It was really inspiring to listen to Professor McDonald, because I used to run a fairly large branding and design company in Bombay. So communications has been a really important part of what design can do in the world. But recently, since I launched my brand, fashion I feel is the fashion industry is actually probably been most hit by all the technological changes. So everything that we knew about fashion only about 10 years back has been now questioned. It used to be for the privileged, it used to be inaccessible, it used to be too expensive, and all of that has been turned on its head, with everything being much more affordable. In fact, I would say, it's the death of fashion, because its role is going to be changing, and that's why when we look at designing the garments for the future, it's not just about style, but it's also about how it's going to play a role in, for example, healthcare. So fashion technology is bringing together something that you can wear, but that can impact your health. And as we all may have noticed, Yuval Harari speaking a lot about wearable technology and how we could be wearing something that's probably constantly monitoring things that's happening in our body and potentially avoid the risk of cancer. So for me, fashion is not just about style anymore. And I think the future of fashion is it playing a larger role, because it's almost a human second skin. You know, we are wearing it all the time. So I think as a design company, our questions are: what is the future of fashion, and how can we be a part of people's lives? You know, that's not just about style.
Sure. So I'm going to pose one question, and I'd really like it to be very, very brief from everybody. Going forward, as new businesses come up and there is going to be a recasting of everything that we are doing, what kind of characteristic you think we have to adapt? So as an example, I can give you one. There's this new word that people are coining to say physical. So it's physical plus digital together. You have to be both physically present and digitally present. So the word is physigital. It's like a sandhi, okay? It's like a combination word. So you have to be both online and offline. So going forward, that's going to become a necessity. If you were to give one characteristic of what businesses have to have as a value proposition, what would that be?
I think I'm very excited to answer this question. We have launched this channel. I just heard the professor that each channel requires a different form of communication if you really effectively want to communicate. So we have a digital channel within a company, but we had done market research and we found that in insurance, you require a phygital channel. So we have launched a phygital channel almost 1.5 years back, and you know, India is all about large numbers, reaching out to the last mile. You all know that India is having 6 lakh villages. Now to reach physically to those 6 lakh villages, I don't know how many years it will take. So what we have done, we said, yes, let's reach out first to 600 districts, then to reach out to talukas and reach out to the further place. So we launched this channel where everything is digital, but there's a person who's the last mile guy, who's servicing the customer one-to-one physically. Because as I said in the beginning, life insurance particularly, a person gets a satisfaction when one-to-one contact is done. So that's what is there, and I'm so happy that within a year's time, we could ramp up almost 500 phygital setups in our company, which can easily scale up to maybe 5,000 in the next 3 years. That's the potential position.
Let me simplify this for you. Since it's not only part of education, brick and mortar anyways is kind of waning out. How do you see the future?
You have to get the perception of being omnipresent. You're everywhere, all the time. That's the perception you get. What digital allows you to do. I really enjoyed Professor McDonald's talk because, like you say, I'm glad you pointed out, although you're 81, you talked as if like you were born like this century. So, fantastic for that. And there's a lot of events I go to, I'd love to put you in my pocket and bring you there to explain to some of these marketeers. It's the perception of omnipresent. If you do digital well, the perception of where you are, your message can be very clear, and it doesn't take that much effort. I am very active online on socials. If you Google my name, there's a lot of activity. So there's a perception. There's people that come up to me and, you're still doing that thing. I haven't done that thing for 3 years. There's a perception of omnipresence. So this digital physical is like, they see that you're everywhere. You can only be where you are now. You can't physically be anywhere else but now. However, what good social media presence gives you is the opportunity to be at more places than once and giving your message. That's the key. Is when you're in that digital space, are you giving value? Do people feel that they can recognize your message and they can relate to it. Because if there's a relatability to it, they'll remember you. If they can't remember you, or know how you feel, they'll go. So I think it's a perception of creating omnipresence around you and your digital footprint.
Pritam, let me ask you this. Since longevity is a real time, I mean, we are going to stay longer on the world, and 80, 90 years is really going to be commonplace. So pretty much all our body parts are going to get replaced, right? Tell us something about all those. So let's hear about cosmetology from you.
Yeah, I mean, we still have people with bionic arms and immortality. That's kind of the next big thing. Yeah, we've kind of achieved quite a bit of innovation, and we've had massive achievements in healthcare. So what's next? Immortality, and we definitely want to conquer that last bastion. We have bionic arms, bionic bodies, bionic organs. So yeah, we're getting there. I mean, that's probably the next thing which is coming. And was coming back to your question earlier. I think one thing everyone needs to be is super adaptable and open to change. And if you thought you knew something 2 years ago, 5 years ago, that's no longer the truth. Truth's changing every second, every millisecond. And like I said, today I could say that most of you agree schools and education is almost obsolete. You could probably just sit on your computer and get done with most of education and everything online at the click of a button. So we need to really have this massive paradigm shift in our mindsets that be ready for this massive shift in your thought process, basically to be ready for the future in any profession.
For me, the one characteristic would be personalization, because everything boils down to putting the person who would buy a product or a service at the heart of anything that you want to do in the world, and which is the only thing that's going to guarantee your existence. And therefore, I think we are increasingly seeing personalization as a very, I think for most brands to see, especially in the luxury sector. I think we've already begun to see that with technology, we can almost decide what we want to wear, the color. We don't want to clothes, and I don't see it being too far from high street, because I guess people are going to start demanding it, and we've got so used to that. Just thinking about what Facebook did to us, each one of us, can have a personal brand, without having to pay thousands of pounds to a PR agency. So did we ever think we could be our own voice? We didn't have to be dependent. We don't have to be dependent on a journalist, or we don't need approvals from others. So I think for me, one of the key pillars for any business or brand is going to be personalization and seeing how that works for their own business.
I think that's very well said, because in this world of big data analysis, personalization is going to become key and very, very simple. We're going to be ending in a short while. I just want to give a little demonstration of what she said about personalization. Because of big data analysis, they're predicting almost everything. So this is actually a case study that I read someplace. Online retail store, let's call it Walmart for the lack of anything else, sends out a congratulatory message to a lady saying that, soon you're going to be having a baby, and the stock is going to be visiting, so God bless, and etc. When that message hit home, it kind of blew up, because nobody in the house knew that this girl was pregnant. The parents did not know that this girl was pregnant. And there was there was mayhem. But ultimately what really happened is, because she was doing online shopping and because of the kind of products that she had started to buy, the big data analysis threw up the fact that she is pregnant and going to deliver a baby, which was unknown. So this is going to be reality. This is how we're going to be. So AI is, when they say that technology will take you to the truth as close as possible, it is so true. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And the organizers, thank you so much for having us here. Please go ahead and have a great evening.